Rock bottom. If you've never been, don't go. I mean, you will learn a lot about yourself, more than you ever have in your entire life. But I'm telling you, if you got the option to not go, don't make the visit to rock bottom. Because if you know, you know. Kalie Shorr knows. She's made an album in a one-room studio for basically no money. And the New York Times ranked it one of the best albums of 2019. One right above Taylor Swift. 3 months later, as you'll hear her talk about, she was on a stage and performing with Stevie Nicks, 200,000 people in the crowd. And somehow, as life has it, that very next chapter, well, she's wearing a referee costume for work, surrounded by bare ass and titties. Yeah, you're gonna wanna know that story. And side note, real quick, actually, you know that guy in the white shirt trying to out-mullet me? That's Kalie's boyfriend, David, good friend of mine. I called him before this interview to get some dirt on her. 20 minutes on the phone. He gave me nothing. Great friend, terrible informant. Anyway, he's got a kick-ass podcast about grief called Dead Talks. And somehow that's a good time. That's just David. Go check it out. Always plug your friends. Back to Kalie and this wild story. A lot of people would call that starting over. I've just never loved that phrase, over. Sounds like you gotta erase something first. You don't. Just start. Your feet hit the floor this morning? That's a start. You don't need the sun to rise and set on it either. Hell, you're not even who you were an hour ago. Pick a start. Go. Kalie did. And at the end of this one, she climbs into the truck bed, right what you're seeing right now, and she plays what came out of it. It's a new song she hasn't released. She's got a couple of those, including one with All Time Low, but this one is called Fever Dreaming. I mean, wait till you see what walks out of the fog. This is a feeling you've known your whole life. You've just never heard it like this.
This is our time. It's a crazy cosmic journey. I feel fine. Something's so right. This is our time. 'Cause I'm tired of trying to walk the dotted line. There's no waiting, hesitating, baby. This is our time.
I have to tell you, my introduction to your career story is through David.
Yeah. I'm so curious how he would tell.
It was one time and one time only. And the gist I got was, so I'm going out with this girl and she was gonna be a major artist. She was touring all these stadiums, and then COVID happened, she got fucked.
That's accurate.
And I was like, I wonder how big. And I saw your TikTok. Nobody talks about this. When it's when you go from this, and it's the most insane, giant
200,000 people.
Okay, so
opening for Stevie Nicks.
Okay, so that's
and Jason Isbell.
Just a small thing,
So.
And then the next clip is when you go from this to this, and it's I don't even know if it's you busting tables or bartending.
I was working at a sports bar themed strip club as a waitress.
Okay, so that
in my stupid little referee costume.
You hit the spectrum.
It was called Dames and Games, and I was and what was crazy is the day I started that job, and it was my first job in 8 years because I've been a staff songwriter and just a touring artist, and very lucky to be able to fully support myself off that. But I had no work history, so I was well, I guess I can do that. They don't care if you're a good waitress at a strip club,
So they even care about being
no,
waited on at a strip
no, it's
club?
just you just
titties.
You just got to show up with boobs and makeup, and you're good. They didn't even ask me for a resume. But so
I hope they want it.
No.
Where'd you graduate from?
Yeah, literally. Do you have a GED? But they, the first day I started there, that was when I was kind of wow, okay, this is a form of, I don't want to say rock bottom, because it's it's not that bad, but it was just okay, things are definitely not the way they used to be, and I need to admit to myself that I gotta figure some things out. So, and I hadn't been fully honest online about how my career had gotten to the point that it had, having been so high and then gotten so low, and I just ran out of fucks to give. And I was you know what? I'm doing my makeup for my first day at a strip club. Let me make a series and just be how I got on Famous Part 1. And it ended up being like a 14-part series that got, I don't know, like close to 10 million views. And it got me my new manager. I got like 50,000 followers from it. It went super viral. I had like a profile in Inc. magazine, like all these different things. Yeah, came from it, from me being honest. And like the part that people didn't know was like, I was doing my makeup while I'm making these videos, and it's to go to work at a strip club. And so I told that story later, and I was, it's always better to tell things in retrospect when you know that they work out okay. So
But in the moment when you're rock bottom.
Yeah, let me not. Yeah, like it's one of those like, oh, it's so much funnier that it's over things. So yeah, that was definitely like bizarre, but I feel like it's a really great lesson in the fact that like if you're lost as an artist or writer or storyteller, like just tell the truth and get to the like less attractive parts of your story, and it will make people way more interested. It'll make them root for you more, and it just feels very cathartic. So
what was the blow up before that?
Well, it's always like a bunch of different things, but like basically the week that I put out my debut album, Open Book, in October of 2019.
Which I saw, by the way, like got thrown on a New York Times list of
best albums of the year.
Best albums of the year, with like Lana Del Rey and Ariana Grande, and
I was like one spot above Taylor Swift, and I can't help but wonder if she listened to my album because she was like annoyed about it. And I love Taylor Swift, but that does seem like something she'd probably do.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it was also on Spin Magazine's Best of the Year, Variety, Rolling Stone. Like it was on like every year-end list, and it was like completely independent, like just me and my producer in a one-room studio making it, like on no budget. And so I was like, wow, this is like amazing. This is everything I ever wanted. And I got asked to play Nashville New Year's Eve going into 2020. And that was the show for 200,000 people.
Was that your first big show?
No, I'd been touring for like 6-7 years at that point, but never like 200,000 people. It's very rare that you get that many people in one place anyways. Like stadiums are 50,000. This was like, it was crazy.
The show was when?
It was New Year's Eve 2020, like going into 2020.
Okay, so this is like, your album comes out like towards the end of the year.
Yep.
No one's really talking about COVID or
no one knew
any of that, and then the New Year's hitting, and like maybe there's some.
Well, and I wrote the album about like the worst year of my life, because I had the year before making the album, like I'd gone through a breakup after 6 years, and then my sister died 6 months later, and it was just like a really awful time. And so I made this album, and I'm like on this stage on New Year's, like just looking out in the crowd, having like the best night of my life. And
I am gonna have a good fucking year.
And as the countdown's happening, I'm like standing with like Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. I'm cheersing her on stage. Stevie Nicks is right next to me. We're all on stage ringing in the new year. And I'm like, 2020 is gonna be my year. I can feel it. And so, and it was totally going to be. I had a sold out headlining tour. I was doing my first UK tour. I was going out with Martina McBride on tour because she loved my album. And then March 14th, I was playing a big show in New York City, and the talent bookers for Jimmy Fallon and SNL were coming. And like my biggest dream of like my entire career is like playing SNL. And they were coming, and they wanted to see me, and they really liked my music. And that got canceled because lockdown happened on the 13th. So that was the next day. And the show kept getting rescheduled, and then people figured out like, oh, wait, this isn't going to be a 3-month thing.
It's a bunch of unknowns.
Exactly. Yeah. And so just like, and I try to check myself, because like obviously it hit me really hard, and it hit me hard financially, because I lost like probably $60,000 in income, because I had my whole year planned out. And like, because touring is really where you make money. And then the way it happens too is like, I got to play the first 3 shows of my headlining tour. First night in Nashville was sold out, one of my favorite venues, Exit In. And, but you don't really make a ton of money on those shows. Like, it was sold out, but like after everything, it's like not that much. You make money on like casino shows. So
why don't you make a ton of money?
Cause like so like it's a show that all the industry's coming to. So you want to make sure you have good lighting. You want to make sure that you have like, you know, a drinks tab for it to schmooze.
Are you putting up your like own investment? That's coming out of like your deal.
No, just my money. I didn't have a deal.
Okay,
it was just me.
You're kind of wanting to put on a show to,
because it's like a big, and like Billboard was there taking photos and videos. So it's like, you know, it's a big thing.
It's an opportunity of investment.
Yeah, and so I think I like probably broke even on that from ticket sales to like what I spent. But that was fine because March 15th I was playing a casino show that paid $10,000. So I was like, and that one I would make 8 or 9.
But is that why all these artists always hit a casino on their? And I'm like, why?
The casino
are they
tours,
playing the worst venue at?
What is it, Yamava?
Yeah, Yamava. It's like a seated theater for 16 and above, and they bring everyone.
Right, because then that's how you afford to fund the rest of your tour and do the cool things you want to do, like have screens and like, you know, pyro and whatever. Like Green Day's playing Yamava, and they're probably making possibly, I would say like probably close to what they'd make playing SoFi.
That's insane to me, is that to have like Green Day, a band that's so high energy, high rock, and everyone's in a seated
it's a different experience. I mean, like my producer Butch, he's in the band Train right now. He's touring with them for a year, and it's like that too. Like they do a lot of like those casino shows or private gigs. Like the cost of rock and roll is doing very non-rock and roll things. To date, the highest paid gig I ever played was a dental convention where the majority of people there, they thought I was a cover band, so they kept making requests.
I'm just here to smile, baby.
It's in like Port St. Lucie, Florida, or something crazy. So
how's everybody's teeth looking? Let's go.
Did you remember to floss? Let's go.
That's crazy. Okay, I didn't know that. That makes way more sense. And it's the casinos get it, just have more money to spend, but also are probably like bring people into the casino. They'll spend money anyway.
Yeah. And like they just like have a budget for it. And the thing about the casinos too is like you make more money because they have all the staff, so you don't have to like pay a merch person, you don't have to pay for lighting or like, you know, sound. It's a really sweet deal. So whenever you see a really cool artist playing a casino, that is exactly why. What? It's the funding the rest of their tour. And like
where are you from? Are you Portland?
Portland, Maine.
Okay, Portland, Maine. Wait, was Portland, Maine very emo then?
Yeah.
That classic Midwest emo?
Yeah.
I'm always trying to like figure out
Northeast, but
the psychology of that, of like why we grew up around all these cornfields and like tractor type vibe and scene, which I love now.
Where are you from?
From Minnesota.
Okay, yeah. I think it's the coldness. I think being cold makes you angry.
Inside all day, and then you're like, I need to like straighten my hair.
That's why Alanis and Avril, they're Canadian. It makes sense. Okay. It's like an angst that comes with it, you know?
Total angst.
Do you remember your first mosh pit?
Yeah, actually.
What was it?
It was, I have a very vivid moment. It's funny that you know All Time Low.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I have a very vivid moment. It was like second time at Warped Tour, because I think first time at Warped Tour, I was 13 or 14, and it was such a culture shock.
Yeah. And
I was just like, whoa. And I crowd surfed to 303. And it felt like it was a mile-long crowd surf.
Yeah.
I also was 110 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's probably so easy to just surf among all these people.
That's incredible.
But the next time I went, I was just like a veteran, right? Mm-hmm. Like I took my friends. All Time Low played. When they came on, it was middle day, hot, sweaty. Whatever it was, is I connected eyes with their guitarist Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I went like that, and then he went like that, and I was like, and he was like, and then we did like a 1, 2, 3, and the lanky little teenager me with my straightener hair like went and pushed everybody, and I was like the highest high I had ever had. I was just like, I don't know what it was about it, when I was like, I had a connected moment.
I would have made that everybody's problem. That's incredible.
Then I had a Twitter handle that was Alex Sex Panther. From Anchorman.
This is so 2008. I love it.
2000. So I like tweeted and tagged Jack. Mm-hmm. And I was like something like you know, like rock the mosh pit. And he responded. It was something like 80% of the time. It works every time.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And that was my eye.
I would have been like, yeah, I would have made that everybody in 8th grade's problem. I would have been like, hey guys, do you know who you're talking to? Sex Panther.
Sex Panther, yeah.
I'm friends, my buddies at all time low.
I know. We tweeted.
That's my guy.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
my first mosh pit was less,
if Jack hears that, he owes me.
less pleasant. Although it was very rock and roll. It was, you know the band Sick Puppies? A little bit harder.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved them. I went and saw them in a formerly abandoned train station turned venue. That was underground in my hometown.
Where?
And I was in 8th grade. I remember I was wearing like little ballet flats and like a button-down shirt. Like I just was not dressed for the part, but I loved this band. And I lost track of my friends. I was 13.
Do they have that song that there's no going back? Is that that?
No, they have, their one is like, welcome to my world, everyone I ever need always ends up leaving me alone. It's just like the angstiest shit.
Like
You'd like it.
Yeah.
They're very rock, but I get separated from my friends, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is a mosh pit, and it starts to get really intense, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'm enjoying this, and I'm like,
you're like, good thing I wore my ballet.
Yeah.
You see a little full
Literally.
turn in the center.
And I was like, yeah, and I was probably like 95 pounds, and I'm like hurling myself at people, having so much fun. And then this giant behemoth of a man comes up to me. He grabs my arm, he bites it. Like he just goes like, and like bites my arm. And the lead singer saw, and it was towards the end of the show, and so he had his manager like come find me and my friends and ask if we were okay, but B's like,
Also,
he was like, come say hi.
shots?
Yeah, I know. So I got to meet them because they felt bad that I got bitten.
What made you? I think about myself and like I'm like, why did that music resonate so much at the time? But the choice to be like, that's the type of sound I want to do now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely always been like a common thread. My first band was a Nirvana cover band when I was 13, and I loved grunge.
What were they called?
Minerva. And then we were like, that's too on the nose, sounds too much like Nirvana. So then I was like, guys, we should be Certified Cynic, and that's what we were. And
Nice.
yeah, I know, it was so funny. I mean, honestly, like,
Way better than my band names.
the funniest part was like, so much of what got me into this type of music was what Butch Walker was writing and producing. So like all of the Avril stuff, even like he did a lot of the more pop punk leaning early Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm.
He did Green Day, he did Weezer. And I found his music when I was like 11, and I was like, who is this guy? I'm obsessed with this. And I had been manifesting working with him for like 25 years by the time I worked with him, or 15 years. And so like his music got me into a lot of that, because I loved seeing like who wrote what song on an album and then looking up what other songs they'd written, and I was always really fascinated by that. And I think it, from a lyrical standpoint, like it just speaks to the kind of like, I don't know, there's a reason why like angry teenagers are some of the biggest musicians we have, like Alanis Morissette and even like Olivia Rodrigo now. Like there's nothing like an angry teenager to like be able to articulate what everyone else has gotten like too far away from their intuition to say, but they're all feeling.
And also be motivated enough to pull it off.
Yes.
Because being an artist and also starting a band,
You have to be delusional.
You do. You have to coordinate and convince all your friends to do it with you instead of like going and hanging out with people like normal people do.
Right, yeah.
Like, let's go play in a basement. Come on. And
But
record
that's
a
so
bunch of-
fun.
It's the best.
It's the best. He's the best.
Let's get back to you.
Yeah, anyways.
What? Okay, so this new album that what you have coming out, it's getting put
It's
together?
in the process. I have 3 songs. So Evolution came out. This one, Fever Dreaming, is the current song, and then I've got one more, and it's a combination of the producers on it are me and Butch Walker, going back and forth, and some of them I'm producing myself. So
When's the last time you worked with Bush? Was the EP? So
yeah, so
we talked about it,
2021.
okay. And so,
Mhm.
what does this feel like? What does this feel like compared to that EP and the Nashville records? 'Cause it sounds like you've had just a tumultuous journey of trying to get like rights to your music back, legal battles, like really fighting to be an artist again.
Yeah.
And does this feel like turning in the new page, the new chapter?
Yeah, and so I started the year really feeling like I started a new chapter because I re-recorded my song Fight Like a Girl, which was my first song. It was for the 10-year anniversary, but it's like the same thing like Taylor Swift re-recording her old masters. Yeah, so I did it. I produced it completely by myself, like top to bottom. I reproduced the song, and it sounds similar, but it's like updated, and I feel confident in my abilities as a producer. I've only been doing it for a year, but that one was like, I insisted on having live drums, and it's really difficult to produce live drums because you just get the like, you know, all the different parts.
All the sounds reverberate in the different mics.
Oh, right, and you have like 17 different tracks that you need to like mix and get perfect and like find the right tones, and I knew like so little about it. And thankfully I can like ask Butch questions all the time, and he answers things that I probably should just Google, but so it's incredible to have him as a mentor. But I did it all by myself, and I felt so empowered and put it out. And then actually the most poetic thing is the day that the song came out, the new version, I got my master back of the original. So that's really exciting to own my music again. I still don't own Open Book. I won't for about 15 years, but that's okay. That's how that works. But
we'll hang around till
then. So I would say that that's like part of why this chapter feels so good is I own everything. I'm still able to work with the people I want to work with, and I'm producing it now. And that's, I haven't fallen in love with anything music related like that since I first started writing songs on my bedroom floor. So I feel like a kid again, just exploring all these new things and like diving into the, you know, really technical side of it. And also it's like the barrier of access is so low, because I'm like, if I want to put out a song, I don't have to have $5,000. I can just do it myself. Like, and I really like, I love the process. I'm starting to do it for other people now, and it's just cool to like, you know, I've been doing music for I've been playing guitar for 20 years. I've been writing songs for 25 years, and to find something that I still like, there's still more for me to fall in love with. And I think that that's a really exciting thing about this particular career, and probably why it's the only thing I ever want to do. Because like, what other, you know, if you have your passion, there's so much more to discover.
You have to follow.
It's a giant playground.
Okay, so Fever Dreaming.
Yes.
What you're about to play for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me everything about it. Where did it come from? What's it about? And also, you sent it to David and I in a group chat, and I hesitated to say this, and I thought about like, how would I receive this if I said this, if someone said this to me, and I thought about it, but I think it's your best piece of work.
Thank you.
You've
Thank
written.
you. No, that's good. Why would I be offended by that?
Because sometimes you're like, it's comparison thing, or I think you could maybe take it as like, oh, is my other stuff not good?
No,
I just think
always,
you've gotten.
I
this
want
is
to
you
believe
getting better. It's
so badly that like my best song hasn't been written yet.
This,
yeah.
Out of all your catalog,
Thank you.
is your best song.
It was a really cool creative process, because like that's part of why I love songwriting, is every song is different. Sometimes they start with me like, you know, writing something in my voice note or my like notes app, and they start with me writing something in my notes app and, you know, venting, or I write them by myself or get started by myself. I just record something like while I'm driving into my voice notes. It's always different, but this one was like, I wrote it with the girl I wrote Fight Like a Girl with, so she's been one of my best friends for 12 years, so it's very cool. And what happened was I was staying with her in Nashville like last summer, and I had a like very long, drawn out, calling it a situationship feels reductive, but it also was like, that's what it was like this 8-year on and off thing with someone that was like never, like, there's always gonna be so much love there, but it was never gonna be like, I don't know, it was never gonna be what I wanted. and the timing was always wrong, and there's just always, he's another musician, so like just use your imagination, it's a nightmare. And I never thought I was gonna see him again. And then there was just like this random night, and he just like called me and was like, can I come over? And I'm staying at my friend Haley's studio apartment, and she's like, I can leave. And I was like, no, this is your house. She's like, no, you have to do this. She's like, you have to see him. Like, it's been building up for so long. And I was like, okay. So she's like, I'm gonna go sleep at my boyfriend's house. I don't care that we're fighting. I'm gonna go stay there. And I was like, you are the best friend I've ever had in my life.
Shout out to Haley.
Yeah. So he comes over, and I just like, I saw him crossing the street, and he came out of this like fog, like this ghostly fog. And it was like seeing like, it was like seeing a ghost, and that's where the line came from in the chorus, because like, so it's like all very imagery, but it's also very literal. Like I literally saw him walk out of the fog like a beautiful ghost. And we just have this night together, and it didn't feel like, it felt like we took a time machine back to 2018 before anything bad had happened with us. And it was like the most like, honestly, like wholesome, innocent night, and we just were like together, and everything was great and perfect. And I was like, wow, this is crazy, because I'm getting everything I want, but just like for one moment. And I know that the next morning when he leaves, I'm probably never gonna see him again. Like I can just tell. And it was like a really beautiful closing of a chapter that needed to happen. But it was like I woke up the next day and I was like, was that real? And so Haley comes back from her boyfriend's house, and she sees me on the couch, and I'm just sitting there like holding my knees crying, and she's like, what happened? And I was like, start telling her the story. And at some point while I'm telling the story, she grabs a guitar, and then I see her start writing things down, and I'm still just telling her what happened. And then she's like, hey, what about this? Because I said the thing about the fog, and she's like,
Yes,
come
Haley.
out of the fog like a beautiful girl. And I was like, and then like, and I have
You're crying.
Yes.
You're like, you listen, but
I have a voice memo of it, because I was like,
good. That is good.
that is exactly what I sound. I was like, and I have this voice memo because I was like recording her because I don't want her to forget the melody. And then you can just hear me in the background.
we need more friends like you in this
I know,
world.
and she's like, do you like it? And I'm like, I love it. And so we finished writing it, but it was like very raw, and I think that that's part of why it's one of my best songs. It was just very, I feel like part of why I love songwriting from like an emotional therapeutic standpoint is like, I don't know how I'm feeling about things ever. I don't really know what emotions feel like, which sounds really shocking given that I'm professionally emotional. But I'll have to like write a song, and then I can step back and be like, oh, that's so crazy that I feel that way. I didn't actually know that that's what that was going on. It was just like like a lump in my throat or like a knot in my stomach. And then I'll see the words that I just wrote, and I'm like, it's like this very subconscious thing. But I think that those songs end up being my best because I'm just like writing without thinking and like accessing this part of my brain that the logical side doesn't let get there, if that makes any sense. And those are always my best songs. So
Don't wash the glass you left on my desk.
I literally said that to her. I was like, it's sitting on the desk and we're writing.
Do you realize how good that line is?
Thank you. But it's like, that's so what makes lyrics so good, is when they're conversational, because I have a voice note of this, of me being like.
I mean, that line in itself is a whole, man, amount of, like, the pillowcases I have not washed and let rot to leave the smell behind.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm fucking
it's a
weird.
good line.
Yeah. But that line brought that to me. It's so good. The whole song's so good. But
thank you. I love that line, though.
That line is fantastic.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
A glass that you left on the desk was way better than Zen pack you left on the desk, so I changed it to glass, but it was a pack of Zins.
Don't.
I kept them. I was like, and I was looking at them, and I was like, okay, this really
so
happened.
Romantic.
It was like the what is it, the spinning top in Inception. That's what the Zen pack was. Yeah. So.
Forever unused.
Yeah. So that's a little secret just for you.
Man, that's awesome. Should we do it? Should we play it?
We should.
Right. We're gonna put down this camera and a couple things,
cool.
and then we're gonna shoot with better camera.
Okay. You ready?
loved you too much, I waited too long, and I blurred the lines between truth and a song. You pissed me off and I drove you insane, but it can't be that bad, 'cause you're on your way. And you don't look real, but you never did. Tonight my heart's on an acid trip. I'm fever dreaming, touch me when I'm sleeping, coming out of the fog like a beautiful ghost. I know you'll leave, but I never wanna let you go. Victims of timing, it's just bad designing, but we can't fuck it up, 'cause we already know we're fever dreaming. So baby, can we wake up slow? Nashville in November, tornado sirens. You said if the world ends with me, you wouldn't mind it. When you go in the morning, I'll pretend I'm asleep, 'cause I don't wanna know what it looks like the last time you leave. I'm fever dreaming, touch me when I'm sleeping, coming out of the fog like a beautiful ghost. I know you'll leave, but I never wanna let you go. Victims of timing, it's just bad designing, but we can't fuck it up, 'cause we already know we're fever dreaming. So baby, can we wake up slow? Well, me and the fever are starting to break. There's holes in the story and gaps in my brain. Don't wash out the glass that you left on the desk, 'cause I need something to prove it's not all in my head. I'm fever dreaming, touch me when I'm sleeping, coming out of the fog like a beautiful ghost. I know you'll leave, but I never wanna let you go. Your last impression, closest thing to heaven. Now I'll spend my whole life hoping something comes close. We're fever dreaming, so baby, can we wake up slow? So baby, can we wake up slow? We're fever dreaming, so baby, can we wake up slow?
Think I got the chance, and I ain't gonna waste it. Honey dripping romance, and the hours are fading. This world